Wadi Rum, Jordan. Wadi Rum is also known as the Valley of the Moon. Yet it's a place that looks more like Mars. When Ridley Scott began shooting The Martian in 2015, this is where he headed. It's not difficult to see why. Located in southern Jordan, there's little Earth-like about this alien spot in the desert. Two of the more recent Star Wars movies were also filmed here. Like to visit a place from a science fiction fantasy? Wadi Rum is as close as you'll come without heading into outer space. Grand Prismatic Spring, Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming. Visitors flock to Yellowstone to witness a natural phenomenon that looks as though it doesn't belong on Earth. Grand Prismatic is the largest hot spring in the United States and the third biggest on the planet. But the thing that sets this captivating crater apart is not its awe-inspiring size. The colors here are catching in the extreme, and like something from an alien world. Like to see it for yourself? You'll feel as though you've traveled to a strange and distant land. Fly Geyser, Black Rock Desert, Nevada. Fly Geyser is a cone-like mound that spurts boiling hot water, often exceeding 200 C. Be sure to be safe, and always keep your distance. Exercise caution, and this makes for an awe-inspiring experience. Traveling here is like stepping into another world, where unusual rock formations abound, and unique colors catch the eye. Trust us on this one, you need to take that trip. Formed in 1916, when a team drilling for water penetrated a geothermal source deep beneath the desert surface, Fly Geyser has drawn those with an eye for the alien ever since. The thermophilic algae that thrives in the hot waters here has stained the surrounding rocks in multiple colors. It makes for a unique landscape that can be found nowhere else on Earth. The Spotted Lake, Clillock, Asus, Canada. Visiting Clillock can be an eerie experience. Located in breathtaking British Columbia, this is a place a little off the established tourist trail, but those in the region ought to pay a visit. Unusual? To describe it as such is a major understatement. Like a place from another planet, the Spotted Lake resembles nowhere else on Earth. To call it a lake is a little misleading. Clillock comprises more than 300 separate pools, all rich in highly concentrated minerals, containing magnesium sulfate, sodium sulfate and calcium, as well as traces of silver and titanium. This is no place to take a dip, but for anyone with an interest in the alien, it's a fascinating spot that demands to be seen. Nestled between the spectacular Similkameen and Akangan valleys, Clillock can be a little tricky to find, but those who take the time to locate the Spotted Lake's unique shores tend to agree that it was well worth the effort. Torre del Vagiolet, Vagiolet Towers, Dolomites, Italy. Climbers flock to the spectacular South Tyrol to tackle the famed Vagiolet Towers. Featuring in Cliffhanger, the Sylvester Stallone movie, this has long been a popular location amongst the adventurous. Yet science fiction fans also find themselves drawn here. Torre del Vagiolet are 6 sizable summits, and the surrounding landscape takes the breath away. It's jagged and it's craggy. It's also like another world, never more so than at night, when a blanket of stars lights the sky, making you feel as though you've traveled to outer space. One of the most photographed spots in the Dolomites. This is a peaceful place that demands a visit. Whether you're a climber or a sci-fi buff, you'll never get tired of the Vagiolet Towers, and all that lies in their distinctive shadows. Painted Dunes of Lassen Volcanic National Park, California. Colorful and captivating, Lassen's Painted Dunes beckon those with a penchant for the unusual. Located in beautiful Northern California, not far from Redding, this is well worth a stop for anyone taking a road trip. The breathtaking landscape here is like nowhere else on Earth. That it looks like a place from another planet is beyond all question. The most spectacular sights can be discovered in an area not far from Cinder Cone. This is a 700-foot volcano that last erupted in the 1650s. When it blew its top, it changed the landscape forever. The multicolored pumice fields that are so distinctive were formed when ash from the eruption fell into the lava before it had cooled. Oxidation caused the vibrant colors that continue to prove such a big draw. For anyone with an interest in the otherworldly, this unusual spot should be prominent on your travel bucket list. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia? Bleak, barren, but still somehow beautiful. Visiting Salar de Uyuni is like leaving planet Earth far behind. Located in Bolivia, the world's largest salt flats present a striking landscape like nowhere else. Ever wondered what an alien world really looks like? We reckon it'd be something like this. Once an immense prehistoric lake that dried up beneath the hot Andean sun, the desolate flats that remain must be seen to be believed. The colors are vibrant, with the pure white salt gleaming beneath perfect blue skies. One thing is for certain, there's nowhere else quite like it. Bromo Volcano, East Java, Indonesia. The Bromo volcano is a surreal-looking landscape set on the island of Java, a few hours plane away from mainland Indonesia. The most impressive view comes at sunrise, where the peaks rise majestically from among the thick layer of white cloud. The name Bromo is derived from Brahma, the Hindu creator god. Standing tall in Bromo Tengger Semeru National Park, there's no escaping Bromo's brooding presence. Rising from the bare and barren plain, it towers. Lake Natron, Mongolia, Tanzania. Lake Natron's bright red waters beckon those with an eye for the unusual. Like a place from another planet. This is an alien environment indeed. Located in northern Tanzania and sitting beneath an active volcano, getting here isn't easy. But for those feeling curious about such things, it's more convenient than traveling to the moon. And it's just as fascinating. The Soda Lake's distinctive waters are highly alkaline, with a pH reading that often exceeds 12. Mineral-rich and always red. This is a place that is hostile to life and, with little living here, you could be excused for imagining that you journeyed to another world. Glowworm Caves, Waitomo, New Zealand. It's all in the name. Waitomo's ever-popular attraction takes captivated visitors deep underground to an ancient cave system like no other on Earth. Down here, countless lights shimmer like subterranean stars, but it's the glowworms that are pointing the way, shining bright in the dark, and making for an alien experience. For those fortunate enough to visit, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, with the glowworms that are found here exclusive to New Zealand's North Island. Like to see them for yourself? You can't recommend this place enough. Namib Naukluft Park, Namibia. Namib Naukluft is enormous, covering close to 50,000 square kilometers. This is the largest game park in the whole of Africa. But there's rather more to this place than its sheer size alone. The sands here are distinctive in color, with oxidized iron resulting in a burnt orange hue that shines in the hot Namibian sun. It makes for a rather alien environment. Like to visit another planet? We reckon it'd look a lot like this. Wulingen Scenic Area, Janjaji, China. There's no question that Wulingen is a scenic spot. Its towering sandstone pillars that stretch skywards make this place feel like nowhere else on Earth. Located in south-central China's Hunan province, this is a spectacular land, boasting countless peaks, gorges, rivers, and ravines. It's no surprise that Wulingen continues to prove popular. There's a great deal to see here, but it's those imposing pillars that prove the biggest draw. Formed from quartzite, there are more than 3,000 to be seen here. Like something from an alien land, the effect can be haunting. Hang Son Doong, Vietnam. Hang Son Doong is huge. Lying hidden from sight until recent times, the largest cave on Earth wasn't discovered until the 1990s. Since then, it has beckoned adventurers keen to explore an underground world that is breathtaking in its scale. Like traveling to a place from another planet, heading deep into Hang Son Doom's immense halls is a unique experience. You could fit an entire New York City block down here, including the tallest towers and skyscrapers. But there's rather more to inspiring Hang Son Doom than its size alone. Jökulsárlón, Vatnajökull National Park, Iceland. Visitors flock to Vatnajökull National Park to see Iceland's deepest lake at close quarters. Breathtaking in its beauty, it makes for a spectacular sight. But Jökulsárlón also feels rather otherworldly. Like a land from afar and frozen planet. There can be no question that this place has an alien atmosphere. It might be the still blue waters, or it might be the striking black sands. It might be the ancient icebergs that float on the peaceful surface and wash up on the lapping shores. Or it might be the deafening silence that abounds. Regardless, this is a place like nowhere else on Earth. Coming here can be a haunting experience. Socotro of Yemen. Traveling to Socotra is an alien experience indeed. There's nowhere else on Earth that looks quite like this. This is a strange land that always leaves visitors feeling far from home. Located in the shimmering Arabian Sea, the island is remote in the extreme. But the thing that makes Socotra most feel like a land from a distant galaxy is the exotic and unusual plant life for which this place is so renowned. Cut off from the rest of the world for so long, Socotra boasts innumerable ancient species that cannot be found anywhere else on Earth. Dos Ojos, Tulum, Mexico. Located on Mexico's picturesque Yucatan Peninsula, Dos Ojos beckons those with a penchant for adventure, like to dive. This is a spectacular place to do it, but do be warned, this is not a spot for the inexperienced. The underwater world that lies beneath the surface here is deep, disorientating and like nowhere else on Earth. Dos Ojos, translated as two eyes, refers to the two main entrance points to the vast cave network. Divers first started exploring here in 1987, but so long and winding are the narrow passages, there's still a great deal to discover in the crystal clear waters. Dalal, Ethiopia. Desolate and dry, Dalal appeals to those seeking the otherworldly. Located in northern Ethiopia, getting here isn't easy, but for anyone keen to experience life on another planet, this is perhaps as close as it comes. Don't like hot weather? You might want to give this barren backwater a miss. Dalal holds the record for the highest average temperature for an uninhabited place on Earth. Trust us on this one, you wouldn't want to settle down and live here. Valle de la Luna, Moon Valley, Chile. The name says it all. Spending time in Valle de la Luna is like traveling to the moon. Like to experience lunar life? Chile is the place to go, with the Moon Valley always a popular spot amongst those with an eye for the otherworldly. Located in the sprawling Atacama Desert, it's a little off the beaten track. That said, getting here is easier than traveling into space. Thinking about paying a visit? No rocket is required. Lençóis Maranhenses National Park, Brazil. Lençóis Maranhenses National Park is enormous. It's also rather strange. There's nowhere else on Earth with a landscape quite like this. Spend a little time here and you'll feel as though you've traveled to another planet. Located in northeast Brazil, the national park is a sprawling desert. This might not sound unusual, but there's a twist. When the summer rains come, the desert floods. The sand sitting atop impermeable rock that prevents drainage. Freshwater lagoons form amongst the dunes, creating a land like no other. Covering 380,000 acres and boasting 43 miles of captivating Atlantic coastline, Lençóis Maranhenses is becoming more and more popular amongst those with an eye for the unusual. Thinking about paying a visit? Take our advice and don't leave it too late. The shimmering lagoons are at their fullest between May and August, but from September onwards, the waters start to dry up, and the desert returns to a state of normality. White Desert, Fairford, Egypt. You'll feel as though you're no longer on Earth in Egypt's otherworldly white desert. From afar, this strange land looks cool and covered in snow, but the truth couldn't be more different. This is a place that can be hellishly hot. Don't let the bright white rocks and gleaming chalk formations deceive you. Spend a little time here, and you will feel the heat. The White Desert is set in a deep geological depression, located 30 miles to the north of Fairford, and part of the much larger Western Desert. The wind-shaped rocks give the landscape a mysterious feel, whilst all is white and weave beneath the baking Egyptian sun. Linger too long, and you'll soon forget that you're still on Earth. So different and disorientating is the unusual environment. Like to experience life on another planet? It's easier to get to Egypt than outer space.